The Trump administration and people in general want to throw out the words communist, radical left, Marxist, socialist, but they don't even understand what the words mean. These are just weaponized words to attack normal, everyday, working people who aren't even that radical. I want to share a little bit of history. And before I get into it too, I'm not going to go deeper into all of these words because I've already made a video for that. But in the 1960s, the CIA created a series of techniques that were used to crush dissent across the global south and Southeast Asia called the Jakarta method. It used basically anti-communist rhetoric to justify the genocide and mass unaliving of 500,000 Indonesians in the global south in the 1960s. These methods were then used. They realized, oh, I could do this. And they started spreading it across the global south and Southeast Asia, in places like the Philippines, which is where I'm from. I'm a third-generation Filipino-American. And I've been learning the disturbing history of my own people, but it's giving me more context to the world stage and how all this plays out. Anyway, all this anti-communist rhetoric that's being used to attack normal people who aren't even radical is the same anti-communist rhetoric that was used to justify the genocide, the mass unalivings of 500,000 Indonesians, really millions of people across the global south. That same rhetoric is being used today to attack people like Zoran and really just anybody who's on the left or even slightly left-leaning. The Jakarta method techniques in the 1960s, they also didn't just use it to attack radical left people or communists. They used it to justify the erasure of indigenous peoples. I have to breathe because this is like heavy stuff. To justify the genocide of indigenous peoples, of teachers, of normal everyday working people who just wanted to push like small land reforms. Anybody that the global capitalist system, which is what we live in, we're in the epicenter of this in America, didn't like, they labeled them a communist and then used that to justify torturing them, unaliving them, all the things. By the way, I'm also saying these words because people want to be anal about this, because I could get censored by saying those words. But anyways, this is really important because it helps us understand where the source of anti-communist rhetoric comes from and what was it done in the name of. And I'm not pushing any particular politics, but I'm asking, who does that serve? Who does calling somebody that you don't like an anti-communist, who does that serve? And historically, what has that rhetoric been used for? What did that result in the past? I'm also not saying that nobody is radical on the left, but what I'm saying is, who does it serve? And what type of social climate does it create to just call anyone that you don't like a radical leftist, communist, socialist, Marxist, when barely anybody that I talk to even knows what these words mean or knows what was done in the name of these words? And my question is just, who does that serve?